Hi, this is Ron Carr, author of the CEO best-selling book, Lead, Sell, or Get Out of the Way. Were you ever asked to motivate a team of 15-year-old girls? That's what happened to me a couple of years ago. You see, my daughter was playing summer softball, and they were 8-8 for the season, and they qualified for the playoffs. And all of a sudden, they found themselves in the semifinal game, where they won, they go to the finals. So the coach came up to me and said, "Hey, Mr. Motivational Speaker, do your thing, motivate them. You got 5 minutes." And I'm looking at these girls and I'm going, what am I going to say to them? Especially my daughter, who's hiding behind her hands saying, "Please do not embarrass me." So I looked at the girls and I asked them this question. I said, "Listen, if I ask you not to think about pink elephants, what are you thinking about?" And they all yelled at once, "Pink elephants." But I said, "Why? I told you not to think about them." You see, the mind can't process the negative. So if I ask you not to do something, you're concentrating on the thing you don't want to do, and guess what's going to happen? It's like if you went up to the plate and you're thinking about not wanting to strike out, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to strike out. But what if you thought about the opposite? What if you thought about the home run you wanted to hit, and you saw yourself hitting the ball flawlessly and then going over the fence? What do you think is going to happen then? You're probably going to do better than if you were thinking about not wanting to strike out. That's exactly what happened to the team. This was a 500 team, and they hit like they never did that summer. They won 13-4. Now look, I'm not here taking the credit. They did the work. But what got them into the right direction was their mindset. I remembered this speech because I had to use my own words to help myself one day. You see, I went into this golf store. I had to buy shoes, so I was in a shoe department. Then I'm looking at a new bag with its hundreds of bags, asking myself, do I really need this bag? And I decided not to buy the bag. And I go out of the store into my car and realize I lost my reading glasses. And if you're my age, you need your reading glasses. So panic-stricken, I go into the store, this huge store, thinking to myself, oh no, how am I ever going to find my glasses in this big store? And I immediately said to myself, that's like asking someone not to think about pink elephants. Think about what you want. And I immediately calmed down because I said, I need to find my glasses, and I'm going to find my glasses. Now what that did was it made me started rationalizing some things. So I said, okay, I was in the shoe department. No, I didn't lose them there because I remember having it when I went to the bag department. So I went to the golf bag department. Then I'm looking at these hundreds of bags and the fear started coming up again. How am I ever going to find these glasses? And I said, calm down. What's the end result you want? And I kept thinking about finding the glasses. And that led me to look at the 2 bags that I was turning upside down. And I took one of those bags, turned it upside down, and what do you think fell out? My reading glasses. How many times do we have a panic in our mind? Like, oh my God, I'm never going to get this deal. Or like, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of this traffic. Oh my God, I'm not going to get home in time, whatever it is. If your mind's thinking along those lines, guess what? You're going to be right. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But when you catch yourself thinking about the negative, replace it with the positive. Replace it with the outcome that you want to have happen. What that will do for you is it will immediately calm you down. And it will immediately start forcing you to think along the lines you need to think to do the right actions to get to the right result. You see, our outcomes only come from doing the right actions. And our actions only come from thinking properly. And we can only think properly when we start with the right mindset. And the mindset you can control. So operate from a positive mindset and see the difference in the outcomes you make day in and day out. This is Ron Carr, author of the CEO best-selling book, Lead, Sell, or Get Out of the Way, wishing you a great day.